Welcome to the GCN Tech Clinic, where Alex and I aim to answer your bike, tech and maintenance related questions. As ever, you can submit your questions down below in the comments section using the hashtag AskGCNTech, and we'll do our best to answer as many of them as possible
within the allotted time.
Let's go.
First one is from Craw Eats. They say, Ollie and Alex, love the show. You guys are the best. The ultimate bike gurus of time, and handsome pair too. This is great. I was wondering...
Thanks, Mum.
Is my question more likely to get a response if I start with some flattery? Yes, it is. Will mixing sealant brands in my tyres upon topping off the sealant reduce the effectiveness? I'm too lazy to disassemble it all and clean.
Yeah, it will. So different sealants use different chemistry and different chemical compositions.
Yeah.
So mixing sealants can cause all sorts of problems. At sort of best, it'll just reduce the actual service life of that sealant, so it just doesn't last as long in your tyres. But it can also cause things like coagulation and clumping of the sealant and little balls of dried up sealant in there so that it doesn't then seal when you want it to. Generally, it's just a problem of chemical incompatibility. So certain sealants use glycol, certain use ammonia, certain use other things. Some have sort of platelets in there, like the little fans, like the Silka one has little micro bits of sort
little
of
carbon fibres
bits in there.
Yeah.
Don't mix them. Is just the simple answer.
It's not the biggest deal in the world to take the tyre off, like clean it out, use a good quality sealant remover, and you're basically good to go.
Well, that's it. So Silka do make, we haven't got it here, but they do make a sealant remover product, which is really good for just getting rid of that sealant. Because sealant can be a pain to get rid of when it's inside your tyres and stuff. So
it's an absolute nightmare. I've seen some of those hacks as well, and I'm never sure online whether they actually really work. I tried the drill hack once, and I was like, it's not really working as well as I hoped.
Yeah.
Anyway, next one is from Alzeet. They say, I've got a matte black carbon frame with gloss black stickers. I'd like to add a little bling to the stickers, and can I take them off and replace them with some holographic or oil slick coloured ones which will match the oil slick bar tape? How can I remove the old stickers / decals without damaging the frame? Love the show. Hope my question is answered in the allotted time. First thing, don't try and take any like factory fitted stickers or logos off of your bike. I think I would leave those be and I would stick it over the top.
That would be the easiest thing to do. So the key thing, though, depends on where the stickers are. So modern bikes will have transfers applied to the surface. Like the Pinarello logo you see there is actually a water slide transfer that's applied onto the bike. And then they put clear coat lacquer over the top to like lock it in place. Now, that's the most common way in which it's being done in the bike industry now. Or if it's basically secured under lacquer, it's going to be a lot of work to do that. So the easiest thing is just stick a sticker over the top.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have a big job where you actually take back the clear coat lacquer with wet and dry.
Yeah.
Remove it, then put something on, and then put clear coat back on top again over the top.
That's like a massive, expensive job.
Yeah. The other thing is, when it comes to removing actual like stickers and stuff off the surface of carbon, then there are certain solvents which I would recommend you use and other ones that you wouldn't. Carbon fibre doesn't tend to react very well with acetone, which is commonly found in like nail varnish remover, because acetone will solvate and mess up the epoxy. Not the carbon fibres themselves, they're pretty chemically inert. Yeah. But the solvent I would say is pretty good to use would be isopropyl alcohol, so IPA.
Yeah.
It's pretty safe and is good at removing like glue residue if you've got stickers.
Yeah. I think, as I said, for the easiest possible option, choose a sticky one, stick it over your bike and take it off at the end. Okay, next question is from It's the Main Man Connor. They say, when I freewheel and the chain is in the smaller sprockets, the derailleur kicks back and the chain goes a little bit funny and loose. What is their problem? I'm going to say it sounds like when you're in the lower sprockets, the chain and the derailleur is under the least amount of tension, and a little bit of drag or resistance in the free hub or free wheel is just wanting to drag it round as you try to stop pedaling, causing the chain to like rotate through and like essentially create a bit of slack at the bottom of the system, which the derailleur is then trying to take up. And it's just going a little bit weird. I've had that problem in the past. The solution I found was to take the free hub off of the wheel, clean it all out, make sure there's no worn bearings or components, fresh grease, away you go.
Nice. Andrea Zuma says, I've recently bought a new set of resin compound disc brake pads, Shimano Ultegra, for my new bike. As the first and original set of pads will soon get worn out. Good.
Yeah.
Now, however, I was dumb not to check which type of pads were originally installed in the bike, and I've now discovered that they are not resin but metallic. Question is whether it would be okay to use resin pads on existing rotors, or should I get a new set of metallic pads instead? So, I did a video very recently on bedding in your disc brake rotors. Watch that video because it sort of covers off this and what you should do. But the long and short of it is that pads should be matched to rotors for maximum performance. However, the simple thing that you need to do here is just to clean your rotors and start them again so that they match with the new resin pads. So just use a disc brake cleaner and a rag and just get them nice and clean again, and then you can then start building up that resin material to bed in those rotors with those pads.
Yeah, the first thing you're doing is just transferring a little bit of the brake pad material to the rotors, help make it all work effectively.
And you'll get better braking performance and better longevity out of your parts as a result.
There's no big drama though, it's not going to make everything catastrophic fail. At the other Ollie, they say, it's my first winter riding a bike. I don't have much winter kit. What would be your must-have piece of winter clothing? Oh, also secondary question, for winter clothing, is it better to wear one thick layer or multiple thinner layers?
Gloves.
Gloves?
I'm yawning. Oh, I'm tired.
Keeping you awake there, Ollie?
Yeah, gloves.
Gloves. Okay. I do get really cold hands, and I would struggle without a good pair of gloves. I never actually found like a pair that are categorically the best for me. One thing I would say I really wouldn't ever be able to do without, though, is a good quality rain or waterproof jacket. Because I think it's really versatile. One, it's going to keep you dry when the weather's bad, but also, if it's also cold, it can serve as an extra layer to help keep the wind out.
I think what I would recommend, though, to people who, because, you know, you can buy absolutely everything and all the kit, but I would recommend buying layers. That was the second question. Just because it's more versatile.
Yeah.
And you can tailor what you wear underneath. So if you've got a good waterproof outer shell, that you can wear that as a jacket, and then you can just build up layers underneath it, and it'll keep you dry, but you can build up some layers underneath it if you need more insulation on a colder day.
That makes perfect sense.
So I would go with that. And the other thing that is an absolute must as well for me is when you live in a place like this, not just because it's cold, but also because the roads get really grotty and dirty, is just some shoe covers that keep your feet warm and keep your shoes clean. Yeah.
I feel like some of the essential bits. Yeah. All right, I like it.
Shoe covers, though, what are there any like particular ones that you recommend?
One of my favourite things at the moment is actually a smaller British brand called Spats that make these like
big
longer
green ones.
Yeah, they make long ones that come further up your leg, which helps keep you like dry and warm.
They are pretty good for dirty winters.
Yeah, there's lots of brands making a similar type of thing now. This place is like one of the originals.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Next question is Brian Richardson, who says he's talking about using the hack of hairspray to keep Aero socks in place. And he says if you've whipped out a can of hairspray mid-TT to keep your socks up, then that's a hack. But if you're continually applying hairspray before every ride, then rather than properly fixing the problem, then that's a bodge. Rules are rules. and Ginger Bruner also commented on this, going, hairspray on the leg or the sock? So just to be clear on this, right, this is not something I do routinely, because now the sort of next generation of Aero socks have solved this problem.
A lot,
So I don't need to do this now with the ones that I've got. And the one, like the latest sort of Aero socks from, say, like Rule 28, solve this problem. So that's all right. But generally what I'd do is put a bit of hairspray on the leg.
Yeah.
And then pull the sock up, and then sort of like it's sort of glue between the sock and the leg.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Not like a leg/sock layering system of hairspray.
Yeah.
A little bit excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Glad we cleared that up. Right. That was actually our last question for this week's clinic. So I say every single week, if we didn't get to your question, I'm incredibly sorry, but do be persistent. Put it in the comments section down below, and we'll get to it in the coming weeks. Right.
I'm gonna go now.
Love you. Bye.